1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Vesh, can you please confirm? Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Can you open it? Just make this longer.
Right. Can they hear me? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. Hello. Hi. Afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming. And I'm just saying right now, I feel very emotional about this. This has been a long time in the planning. So if you can all come and stand quite close up this way. Heavens are shining on us and it's not raining. So we can start with the official cutting of the ribbon and opening up this wonderful, wonderful building for the school. If I can ask Mr. Turner, the chairman of the board, Dr. Kotza, the principal of the school, Lara Weisenberger, who's been instrumental in making this all come together, Jackie Staniforth, who's a member of our board, and Zoe van Kemperer from the Vessels Trust. Do you have scissors? Who has the scissors? Oh. And yes, we are. Okay, we are all going to come inside now, and I'm going to ask the guests to sit towards the front, then the teachers, and then the pupils towards the back of the hall, just so in that order. Okay.
Next to the projector, so I can just...
Yeah. Yeah, because... All right, you are the first people to be sitting in this wonderful, wonderful building. So I think it's fantastic. It really is. And you can imagine in time it's going to be filled with desks and exams and pupils and all sorts of activities that go on in the school. So it really is. It's great to be here. We're going to stand now and sing the school song, the words of which are in your program. And thereafter, Dr. Kotze will come up and address us. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Earlier this morning, I had a bit of an emotional moment. We have been involved in saving up and planning and you know everything that needed to be done for a very long time. I've aged by 12 years. Okay, I know it doesn't look like that, but if you come closer, you'll see. I want to today welcome all of you to the opening ceremony of the new wing at Cedarwood. I think it is such a special time. Some of our ex-students who are present here today, alumni, have said to me, I thought it was never going to happen. And I'm glad that they are here to see that it has happened. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And what is more wonderful about the opening of this building is that those little ones who are sitting in grade one day will also have their pops a balloon, okay? Will also have the opportunity to have the benefit of all these wonderful new buildings. I want to extend a special welcome to certain people. And I know that some of these people don't like to be named, but bear with me, please. All right. So in general, the board members, but specifically Advocate Duncan Turner. He has put in an immense amount of personal time, effort, driving things behind the scene, letting us just get on with what we had to get on with. So special welcome to you, Duncan. We really appreciate what you've done. Then secondly, the person that we see as our project manager, and she also doesn't like the limelight, Laura Weisenberger. Always here, always available, always listening, always getting opinions, getting everything that needs to be received together, and doing all those wonderful things. Laura, welcome, special welcome to you. Can I ask that we clap for those two individuals? Then I want to welcome the prep management. I think I saw Sedation. There he is, he's waving, and I saw Shannon and Nikki. Wonderful. Thank you for joining us. Then also welcome to the PTA members, very active PTA. So welcome to you. I don't know, is Sally late here? Okay. So, oh, there's Sally. Okay. Sally, thank you for coming out today. It's always wonderful to see you, and a special welcome to you. And then Zoe van Klemterre. I hope I'm pronouncing your surname correctly. Zoe is from the Vessels Trust, and they have been providing additional funds to the school for the upgrading, for the building, for other projects and so on. And we are immensely grateful for the help of the Vessels Trust. Thank you, Zoe. Right, Bernard Langton, which I met for the first time today. He's the newly appointed ISASA Regional Manager. Bernard, nice meeting you. Welcome. Then I want to, I've seen some ex-students and seen some ex-parents. Wonderful to see you guys again. Special welcome to you. Special welcome to Hannah. Hannah Lovell. How long have you been out of school? 6, 7 years. She's already teaching on her own, all right? Were you ever thinking this is never going to happen? Okay, all right. Hannah's going to address this a bit later on, but special welcome to you as well. Edward McCaller, okay. He is from DMC Engineers. Corne du Plessis, if you are here, there you are. I know a lot of work has gone in from your side as well, from Beyond QS. Craig Tyndall, okay, in his absence, from the Structural Workshop. Bjorn Smit from Lee Consultants. Herman Stradum from Oshprak, I think that's right, okay. Richard Woodward and his wife. I met his wife, but I didn't meet him. So welcome to you as well. Peter Gillespie, is Peter here? If he's not, then we'll make sure that he gets the message. From Venpine Properties, Julie Morris and Daryl Jones. from iStore Education, and then, very importantly, the parents and the pupils of the entire school has received the YouTube link to watch us and the proceedings from their classrooms or from home. So if you have a chance to make yourself famous, some people might come around and ask you to say a couple of words that we're going to broadcast. And with the digital age and kids, wanting to look at their screens instead of their teachers, they're enjoying. So I want to also say to all your kids in class, this is for you. This opening, although you're not physically here, this opening is for you and for your future. To all the staff as well, who couldn't wait when I said, okay, which classroom, which one is going into. They wanted to immediately, where can we get boxes, and how can we start moving? So they're super excited. And then the parents of past, present, and future kids at Cedarwood. This is a very special place. It's absolutely, there I go again. It is so unique. It is so, hey, why am I doing this? It is so special. And you have to be in it to know it. And thank you to all of you for being in it. Thank you.
Philip tearing up will make me tear up. Got to take a deep breath. I'm sorry that the entire school wasn't able to come up and join us for the opening. The weather hasn't played its part, but for those of you who've been on the journey with us, you'll remember that the last time we had a big celebration about the building project, carrying bricks from the main road down to the school, it poured all day as well. So it's a blessing. And just in time at 1:30, the rain stopped. It allowed us to cut the ribbon and come inside. So somebody's looking after us. And I take it as a really good omen. I thought I don't want to take too much time today, but I do want to take enough time for us to realize just how momentous today is. Because we've come to the end of an exercise or a project that really has taken time, dedication from so many people. And not only do I want to acknowledge them, but I want to acknowledge the journey and to explain to those of you who are here or those of you who are watching what it really means and how it can change the way in which a school like Cedarwood functions. So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to start with the simple stuff. I'm going to start with what we've got. You'll see a little presentation later of the buildings and the drawings and the pictures, but I want to just explain the big components that we've added to what Cedarwood was to make it what it is today. The first thing we've done is we've created a separate entrance. So now a separate entrance and a 100-bay parking lot. Now, for those of you who've spent any time at Cedarwood, that will change people's lives. Because it will not only alleviate the congestion that we've had for so many years down at the prep school parking lot, but it'll also alleviate the frustration that so many have experienced for so long. So that's the first big change. So from now on, the college staff and students will come in through the top entrance, and the prep staff and students will go in through the bottom entrance, which means we can reorganize the way people move into and out of the school. The second thing is we have 12 new classrooms. So this block has a 12 classroom, 6 on one side, 6 on the other. Those 6 classrooms will create additional space for the school, but in reality, the teachers and students who for so long have had to put up with the prefabs on the old campus will be able now to move into brick structures and take and have the benefit of a brick building. That doesn't mean we're getting rid of the prefabs. What it means is we've got space to do other things, and so we're going to redeploy those prefabs. The PTA have been asking for space and a place to do things. The PTA will now have a prefab to get those things done. Some of our prep and college staff, particularly the sports staff and the maintenance staff, have had to put up with old sheds and Wendy houses as offices for a long time. They now will have proper office space and proper a space to do their work and enjoy their day. So what we're doing is we're creating space for children, but we are also opening up spaces and giving proper facilities to the staff who are so important to what we do. The next thing is this multi-purpose hall. Now, we haven't called it a hall. We actually called it an exam venue when we were planning, because one of the things that we needed desperately was a place for our students to write exams. They were having to do it in the prep school hall, but a shared facility was always going to be difficult. So this started off being a place where exams could be written. But as we developed the design, we realized that if you've got a multi-purpose space, you can do anything. So when you need to write tests and exams, you can come and set up the tables and chairs in here. But if you feel like putting on a small production, you can put it on in here. If you want to dance around and do some silly things, you can do it in here too. So as you sit here, the first guests in this room, I want you to just close your eyes quickly and imagine what the children in future can get up to in this room. Actually, no, the guys at the back, you're not allowed to imagine it because you might. Then added to that, when we started planning out the space, we realized that there was a significant drop. The engineers can see it in their minds, but the lay people like us can't really see it. So when you plan it, it looks like everything's on pretty much a level. But when you get here, you realize there's a 1.5 meter drop from the one side to the other. And the question was, what do we do with that space? And so we have the benefit of an amphitheater. Now, again, an amphitheater has been around since the Greeks, and probably the Egyptians. And you can do anything in an amphitheater. You can hold assemblies, you can hold classes, you can hold small plays, you can do anything you like. And with a grassy space like you've seen outside, I'm looking forward to seeing how you use it. So the space is there, both here and there, but there's no restrictions on how the school can make the best of the space. So I put it out there as a challenge that once you start using the space, let's see what you can do. The next big item is the amanuensis space. Now, those of you who spent time in a school like Cedarwood will realize that many children need support when they're writing exams or tests. That support comes in different forms. Historically, it would be somebody helping them read, or help them read the test paper, or helping them scribe, having someone write. Now, and as we progress, technology may provide us with other solutions. So we may have a technological assistant that helps children doing what they do. We don't know. But what we do know is whatever that assistance is, it can be disruptive to people around them. So if a child is going to have the best support and not feel embarrassed by the fact they're getting that support, they need to have a private space in which they can get the best support. And what the amanuensis spaces do, and those are the spaces around the back here, is that they create small private rooms where children can have that support, whatever those support requirements are. So the amanuensis spaces, again, is a type of space that you will only find at a school like Cedarwood. You won't find it anywhere else. The next thing is the design of the classroom. Just to comment on the design of the spaces. Most businesses, if you talk business speak or you read the Business Day, everybody talks about growth and increasing in revenues, increasing in size. That's not what we do here. Cedarwood is what it is because of the way in which the services are delivered to the students. And the way the services are delivered to the students is that there is a very high ratio of teachers to students. If you increase class sizes, you reduce the ability of the teacher to engage one-on-one with individual students. If you're looking to grow your school model, which is what many corporate schools do, they're always trying to increase the class size relative to the number of teachers. We've designed the classrooms here intentionally to not be able to accommodate more than 15 children. 14 is about right, you'll be comfortable. 15, you're starting to push it. Now, there was a debate, shouldn't we just design it bigger in case we want it bigger later? But that's not what Cedarwood's about. Cedarwood has a model that we think works, and the space that we've designed is to achieve what we think works. So that's if you think, when you see the classes and you see the spaces, that is the thinking that has gone into how we see the school going from strength to strength. The next thing that we've built into the design, and I'd encourage you to look at it as you go, is to incorporate the house. So when the property was bought from Mr. Gillespie of Empine Properties, this was a equestrian property. It had a little arena and a little area where the horses go round and round, and there was a house. And the question was, do we knock down the house or not? And we've decided that a brick in place is a good thing to have, and so the house will become part of the school. Now, at the moment, we've incorporated the new MTN computer facility in there, so cutting edge, fantastic IT lab, and as we develop the school, staff will come up with ideas. At the moment, and I'm not regulating this, but at the moment, the plan is to create big kitchens up there. Kitchens that will allow teaching in a classroom space, so teaching kitchens. Now with teaching kitchens, we're able to offer vocational programs that are centered around hospitality and kitchens, or we can offer consumer studies programs in the academic stream. So the house will certainly be part of the school. And if you go around the back, you'll see that there's an arch and a pathway up to the top. Then just a couple of additional elements, things you don't see. The first is that the school has been the reticulation of fiber all around the school. So we know that connectivity is essential. We know that technology is going to play a major part in everybody's lives, and particularly education. We don't know what it's going to look like, but we do know that optic fiber technology is probably how it's going to be delivered. And so the school has been designed with pipes going underground all over to allow fiber connectivity. We assume that the fiber we've got in the ground today is going to be good enough, but the pipes are big enough that more fiber can be put in if Mr. Musk comes up with some new AI plan. The other thing you don't see is the sewer. We live when the school was founded, it was in a completely agricultural area. There were no sewer systems anywhere. Over the period that the school's been here, a municipal sewer was put in across the valley, but it didn't touch the school. And the question was, do we build the school with the old sewer facilities, the septic tank facilities that the existing school had, or do we connect the new school and from the new school, the old school, to the municipal sewer? What that does is it reduces our impact on the environment, and it allows the wetland to avoid any disruption from sewer outflow. And so part of the project which we introduced once we knew we were building a school was to connect the school to the municipal sewer. So that will be something you don't see and hopefully you don't even experience, but you know it's there. And then the other thing that we've done. We haven't installed solar yet, but what we've done is we've created the facility that when we're in a position to have a proper solar system in place, we'll be able to collect solar so that the school's power requirements can be addressed sustainably as well. Philip has welcomed everybody. I just want to make a couple of acknowledgements myself. First, to the professional team that built that designed and managed the process of the construction. There was a big professional team. I'm not going to mention all of them, but specifically to Matthew Miller and Rory McLeod of Malarkey, our architects, and the architects, they managed the design, prepared the design with us, and then drew up the design, and then managed the process as the construction was underway. And we had a relatively successful building project. Also, all building projects will have little hiccups, but we had a project that had relatively few hiccups. And so we are very grateful to our project managers. To Peter Albertine, who's not here, but Peter was the engineer who helped us with the runoff of water, the sewer system, all of those essential bits that allow the building to be here. And Peter has gone above and beyond in helping us solve those kinds of problems. To Joe Duplessis and Corneille Duplessis, I think Joe is here. They are the guys who keep the money in check, the quantity surveyors. They make sure that we are building what we said we were going to building, and it's still costing what we thought it was going to cost. Because the worst thing you can have in a contract or in a construction project is you think it's going to cost something, and then it costs a lot more, particularly with a school like Cedarwood. Then to the Libera team, I see them here, Jonathan Libera and Ferdy Buerta and Henny Jacobs. They are the guys who actually built the school. Actually, I think we give them a round of applause. To Henny particularly, and to Mishak, who I don't see here, but they were here every day. They were the actual hands that made this school happen. And Henny, your attitude to the school, your constant willingness to listen, to think, to help us find solutions is greatly appreciated. And you really went above and beyond. And I'd like to thank you personally for that. Then to the Cedarwood staff. I mean, I'm going to mention just a few because Marcus, Lisa, Megan, and Yvonne have been directly involved in the work that we're doing and making this thing happen for the interface from the school. As Philip said earlier, we tried not to get the school management involved so that the school management could continue running the school. But of course, we needed support. And to those four in particular, thank you very much for the support that you gave us. Then to the college staff generally, we had some really interesting discussions about what the design should be, what things should look like, how the school should be finished, what plants we should have, where the plants should be. So I hope that you enjoyed the experience. I hope that you felt part of it. And I hope that you are happy to live in the school that you see around you now. Then some special mentions. First to Mr. Brian Brombacher. I don't think Brian's here, but Brian is the head of the Glenfinnes Residents Association. When you're building something like this in an agricultural area, you're going to cause disruption. You're going to have grumpy neighbors from time to time. And Brian was instrumental in making sure that as the grumpy neighbors emerged, we could deal with things and move on without too much disruption. And then to Richard Woodward. Richard is here. Richard is a retired construction professional. He worked with big construction firms all over the world. Those of you who've seen any pictures of Dubai would have seen the picture of that massive building that looks like a sail called the Burj Al Arab. Richard was part of the team that built that. So we had someone with extraordinary expertise and experience. He's retired, and he was Laura's right-hand man. So when Laura was project managing and she wasn't sure how things worked or what things meant, and she was going to a meeting and she wasn't sure how to handle it, Richard was always there. And Richard, we really appreciate your contribution. And then the two most important cogs in the machine. First of all, Miles Ellis. Now, Miles isn't here, and I think he must be incredibly disappointed that he couldn't make it. Most of you will know Miles Ellis. Miles was the business manager until the end of 2023. And it was under Miles' supervision that this project actually happened. None of us could have actually got here unless Miles had done the groundwork. He organized the relevant permissions, the relevant contracts, the quotes, all of that legwork and homework and preparation that needs to be done. Miles was the one who put it together, and then he was offered a job that he couldn't refuse, and he couldn't see it through. He couldn't finish the project with us. So to Miles, I hope you're watching. Thank you very much. Without your input, we wouldn't have been able to get where we got. Then to the final and biggest cog, to Laura. No, I'm starting to tear up. So I've been given the ability to stand up here and celebrate and cut the ribbon, but the only reason I could do that is because of Laura. I think I must have had about 20 WhatsApps every morning. But that allowed me to get on with my day. It allowed me to do what I needed to do and still be of assistance to the project. Laura was able to talk to the professional team, talk to the contractors, talk to the school, make sure all the nuts and bolts were tightened and everything was going on, and allowed me the trust that I could communicate with Laura and things got done. And that's how a team works. But without Laura, we definitely wouldn't have the school that we have today. So thank you again. And then lastly, I just want to say thanks to the members of the board. I think I saw Roy Lindemann here. Is that you in the back there, Roy? Roy was on the board when I arrived 13 years ago. And Roy was always looking to build things, improve the school. And since then, Shan Nisiotis, Laura, when she was on the board, and multiple members of the board have contributed to making this project work. Narona Ramkasoon requires a special mention. Narona's been on the board now for 10 years, maybe 11, and she has been the treasurer, the financial director of the school. She's been the person that's been able to check the money's there, check the money's spent properly, check that we've managed our finances. And the extraordinary thing, and I mentioned it to Bernard before, is do you know we've built this school and we have no debt? You think of we tried to raise money, but you know, who wants to lend money to a little school at Glenfinesse? What's happened is over the last 12 years, we have saved money, invested the money, and able to develop a kitty that we could build a school with. We built the school with the help of the Albert Wessels Trust. They made a major contribution to that amount, but the vast majority of the money came from the way in which the money was managed. And I can't tell you how unusual that is, not only in a business, but in a non-profit school like we are. So Narona, your oversight was very important. Thank you so much. Right, what's next? Why was Cedarwood put here in the first place? Cedarwood's here to meet a particular need. When it was started, there were a group of parents of young children who found that their children just weren't coping in the mainstream environment, but their children's needs were not suited to the the special needs schools that existed at the time. And so those parents said, let's start a school where our children can get all the benefits of a school, the social benefits, the the camaraderie, the sport. Let's start a school where our children can get that benefit, but their particular needs can be met. And so what Cedarwood developed as was a preparatory school. It was a primary school where the staff and the curriculum was adapted and developed to address specific barriers which allowed children to succeed through their school years. Now, initially, that need was in the primary environment. But as the school grew, the children getting to the end of primary school all of a sudden realized, or their parents realized, that there really wasn't a place where those kids were going to have a successful or an enjoyable high school career. And they said, well, what we should do is try to develop our own high school. And so around 2009, 2010, the decision was taken to start a high school. And that high school then grew slowly. The idea being that the main school would be the prep school, but those children that wanted to stay could go to a small high school. And that was the set of buildings that was built down below. Now, when I arrived at the board in 2012, we didn't even have a grade 12 year. The school was still a young high school, no grade 12, and the prep was far bigger than the college. But since then, the college has grown in leaps and bounds. What's happened is, through Dr. Kotz's leadership and the staff that we've had at the college, the parents of children leaving the prep have realized that their child is going to get the best experience at a Cedarwood college rather than anywhere else. And so the college has grown to an extent that it's now 20 to 30% bigger than the prep. And in that growth, there were different needs. And the needs were not only space, which we accommodated through prefabs, but they were also needs that we've accommodated through support teams and the vocational stream and various other things that the school has developed, often uniquely. I mean, there are things at Cedarwood that nobody else does. And I think it's something that we are very proud of and that the staff can be very proud of, that they are leading pioneers of many things in high school education in the remedial environment. So it's with that need that we then thought, well, are we going to expand and how do we expand? We bought this property, I think, at the end of 2014 with great plans. We hired an architect and told her what the budget was. And we said, can you design us something that we can build on the school? We got the plan. It looked fantastic. We said, wow, that's amazing. And we published it. And I actually had a look at one of the old magazines. We actually published the plan. We said, that's what we're going to build. And then we costed it, and it cost 3 times more than we could afford. And if those of you who were around at the time, it was an incredibly frustrating and disappointing period. Because as Philip said, is this thing ever going to happen? And so we had to go back to the drawing board. We developed the drawing board, and then COVID hit. And that changed the way everybody thought about everything. And it was only once the COVID problem had been resolved and everybody was a little bit more secure in how the future was going to look that we could embark on this plan. And as I said, Miles Ellis was the person who drove it and got us here. Just one thing that I say it at every gathering, but it's important to remember, is that we don't operate on a corporate model. We don't have shareholders that can put money into the school when things are going bad. This school is in the extraordinary place that it effectively owns itself. Our members are our parents and our teachers and our directors. That means that you become a member of or a shareholder in the school when you become a parent, and when you are no longer a parent, you are no longer a shareholder. And what that means is that the parents here are interested in the school being successful. The parents of the older kids have certain priorities. The parents of the younger kids have certain priorities. And the board is appointed by the members to make sure that all of those priorities are looked after. And so we are a very special organization that has to fund itself. And we are very proud of the fact that if we adopt a strategy, it's the strategy that best suits the children. And how do we best suit the children? Is to make sure we have the best staff and our staff are properly treated and happy. Because if you've got a happy staff, you've got happy kids. So if you're talking about shareholders and you said, what do the shareholders or the members at Cedarwood get? It's the value of that dividend is the difference that Cedarwood and its staff can make and encourage each child to be the best that he or she can be. So as we go into these new buildings and you start decorating your classrooms and filling your classrooms and holding shows in the space, what is the inspiration? What is the spirit that we want pervading the atmosphere in here? What do we want it to be? I thought about this and I've actually looked at a whole bunch of things. And you know where I found my inspiration? Cedarwood School Magazine 2012. Our first headmaster of the college was Rob Dixon. And at the time, and it shows you how the school worked. So this was the school magazine. That section, about 3/4 is the prep. That section is the college. But the college headmaster wrote the following. And he says it was adapted with respect from the words of Nelson Mandela in his inaugural address as the newly elected democratic president of South Africa. I'm going to read the whole section from what Rob said, because this is the spirit that built Cedarwood. It's the spirit that started the college, and it's the spirit that I would encourage all of you to take forward. He calls it Lessons to a Teenager from a Wise Old Man. You aren't worried that you won't be good enough, because many of your friends also feel they aren't good enough. Your real fear is that you will become much better than you think, better than anyone else, so good that you will stand out from the crowd, so that others will look to you to lead the way. You are not sure you can handle that. It's your potential for becoming successful that frightens you, not the fear of failure, for you are all used to failing, to talking yourself down. To succeed means allowing your light to shine out as a beacon for others to follow, and that scares you. You ask yourself, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? And I say to you, actually, why shouldn't you be all those things? Remember, playing small does you no favors, nor does it serve your family, friends, school, or country. There's nothing clever about shrinking away from the spotlight of opportunity so that you won't succeed or stand out from your peers. Remember that we are born with the duty to make the best of the glory that hides within us all. The potential for greatness is not found only in the lucky few, it's in all of us. And as you allow your own light to shine out in the crowd of darkness, so you will encourage others to do the same. And as you become liberated from the comfort zone of peer group uniformity, your powerful new presence will liberate others to do the same. Be the best that you can be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Duncan. And I think listening to you and listening to Dr. Courts, I thought the whole building, the whole feeling here is just pervaded with the sense of a legacy, right from Mr. Dixon, from Miles, from the early days, and it's seen fruition, which is just wonderful. Building history while we're living here. Now we have the video of the building and the slideshow put together by Ms. Slack. So thank you. Thank you, Jess. That gave us a lovely perspective on it all. If I can ask Mr. Langton from the Regional Director of ISASA to come up and address us. ISASA being the Independent Schools Association of South Africa.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and it gives me great pleasure to stand here before you and to be part of this auspicious occasion, the opening of this brilliant college wing. A big thank you to Lisa. I got a message from her 2 minutes ago to say, "Are you here?" I said, I've been here since 1 o'clock. I'm actually in the front. So to Dr. Kotze, to the staff, and to the Board of Governors, to everyone connected with the school, congratulations. This is a wonderful example of progress and certainly hope for the future. As much as we enjoy the buildings, and as being a school principal and being part of this kind of thing, it's really beautiful. We know that a lot of learning is going to take place, not only in this multi-purpose. I don't want to tell the chairman what I thought when he said I must close my eyes and imagine the school kids in this hall. I thought of some scary images, but I won't share them here. But to say that a lot of learning is going to happen in these places, and through these corridors, through these classrooms, will go many, many children, and they will leave into the world and make a difference. Because just the sense that I've got being here today, that sense of what the school is all about, and it's about the child, and it's about the person, and it's about caring, that's what we need more and more in the world. But to conclude, we know that a school is not bricks and mortar. A school is about the people, and it's the people at Cedarwood that make the difference. So from ISASA, as a representative, as a new regional director, I look forward to my future visits to Cedarwood to learn more about your school, to engage further, and hopefully to be part of such a wonderful success story. I thank you very much.
Mr. Langton, we just have a small gift to say thank you very much for coming. Mr. Langton mentioned the pupils that are going to come through the school, generations of them, I hope. And what we have now is our current head boy, Kanyezi Msimang, to come and speak to us about his experience of being at Cedarwood, followed by Hannah Lovell, who was the head girl in 2018, to share her experience of being at the school.
Good afternoon, pupils, staff, and esteemed guests. My name is Nkanyezi Msimang, and I am the head boy for this 2025 academic school year. I've been at Cedarwood for 4 years now. These 4 years have been amazing, and I've learned a lot about being in a nurturing school. The teachers at this school are incredibly supportive to all the students, despite the students' weaknesses and strengths. I feel very honored to be a head boy for such an amazing school, and being elected as head boy has given me the opportunity and confidence to learn more about pupils than I already knew. When I first arrived at the school, I didn't know anyone or how things worked, but then I saw a group of pupils on the soccer field playing soccer and went to go join them, and all of them were very welcoming and allowed me to join, which made me feel a part of the school. Our matric group is very honored to be the first group to be able to use this new building, and I am confident that this school can grow stronger and stronger. I would like to leave you guys with this quote: "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world," by Nelson Mandela. I thank you.
I think it is quite nice to actually be here. I was head girl in 2018, so that was when this was announced to all of us. And we were told that we were going to be the matrics in the new school, so I'm glad to be here at last. Good afternoon. It's an honor to be standing here today and reflecting on my time that I spent at Cedarwood College, where I was incredibly privileged of being head girl for 2018. As I look back, what stands out most is the unwavering support and deep sense of community that this school instilled in all of us. Cedarwood was more than just an institution. It was a nurturing environment where we were encouraged to grow, take risks, and push ourselves to be better. The school's motto, "Be the best that you can be," became more than just words. It became a guiding principle that has stayed with me throughout my life. Those words were not just about academic excellence. They were about finding the best version of yourself, embracing your strengths, and never settling for less than your potential. In the mindset this is the mindset, that helped me navigate both challenges and successes in my adult life. Today, I am a qualified Montessori teacher for children 18 months to 3 years old. And I can honestly say that my time at Cedarwood College played a crucial role in shaping my career. As you know, at Cedarwood, we have all different types of students in our classroom. So mainly patience was stemmed from Cedarwood. It was here that I recognized my strengths, which gave me the confidence to pursue my passion for the career I do now. This part of the new school will not only create new opportunities for learning, but it will also open a place for students to forge their own dreams and memories, as I did. I am truly proud to be a part of the Cedarwood College legacy, and I am confident that the school will continue to inspire and shape the future of generations of pupils. Thank you.
Thank you to Kanyezi and to Hannah. Thank you. We're coming to the end of the ceremony now, and before we say, please do come and join us in room 31, which is going to be my classroom, I must just tell you, for eats and some drinks and so on. We would just like to show our appreciation to people who've had such a long-standing commitment to this building project, that have stood by it over the years and been directly involved. So if I can ask Melissa, who's the head girl of this year, to come and help me hand out the gifts, or not me, she will hand out the gifts. Firstly, to Mr. Turner, to Duncan Turner, the chairman of the board. Thank you for all you've done for Cedarwood. To Dr. Kotze, for all he has done in running our school and being the principal he's been. To Lara, you're going to have to come up to everyone. To Nerona, who held the purse strings, it seems. To Richard Woodward, he can come up, please. Thank you very much for being involved in the whole project. And to Jackie, for all that you have done. Jackie has been a long-standing member of the school board as well. Thank you. And in his absence, Miles Ellis, for, as Duncan mentioned, his driving of this project from the get-go when he came. Ms. Pillay, you have a vote of thanks as well. And then after that, if you can join us in room 31. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
It gives me great pleasure today to be doing the vote of thanks. I think we all are quite emotional today. Dr. Kotz and I had to cut the celebratory cake to say the new wing is opened, and I had, yeah, good amount of tears there. I've just recently joined Cedarwood. I think this is my third to fourth year, and to be part of this amazing journey is just a blessing. So let's go on to the vote of thanks. I would firstly like to thank the board for their long-standing dedication to this project. To Laura Bessenberg, thank you for managing the building project. We really appreciate you. I think we've had a few tours together, and to see where we started to now, it's been amazing. To the organizing committee, thank you for today and making today a success. To our parents, staff, pupils, thank you for your patience. We know it's been a long journey, but we are finally here. To everyone who's joined us in person and online, thank you so much for your support. We do appreciate it. And finally, to anyone else who's been part of the project, a big thank you for making today such a momentous occasion for us to celebrate. Thank you.